Hey, peace world. Let me clear my throat beforehand. Peace world. Thanks for pressing play on another Pay Me No Mind sports and entertainment video. My name is Wood. Please consider subscribing to the channel. If you like the way any of the information is being broken down or discussed, feel free to weigh in. Uh, the title, Tom Brady, and looking at most of the difference in his career and the ending of his career versus kind of like the average elite black athlete. I'm not trying to talk about black and white stuff just in a Jason Whitlock fashion just to stir the pot. What my point is, and I look at this situation, the return of Tom Brady, which I thought it. I got to be honest, I didn't really think he was gone the way that it happened, but that's neither here nor there. But my point is, I hope as we move into the future, as we move forward, I'm hoping that more and more and more elite black athletes have themselves in a position at the end of their career as things wind down that you can walk away from the game on your own terms, similar to what Tom Brady is doing. That's my whole point. I get it. You know, Tom Brady is a quarterback. Quarterbacks in the NFL, especially the elite quarterbacks, are protected. They get flags thrown easier, which discourages opponents from doing certain things to them. The game is legislated so that it's less of a threat to quarterbacks. I get all that. But I'm just saying, in looking at the situation such as what we got right now with Antonio Brown, you know, this was a guy who was trending to be one of the better receivers of all time. And over a season or two, this dude can't, I mean, his whole career ended. I mean, it was a joy to sit and watch Antonio Brown play football. Even as my father is a Steelers fan. So I've grown up with the Steelers. But just watching his technique, just watching, you know, the dude, all the routes that he could run, the attention to detail with his position and being dominant at his position, that was a joy to watch. And then, like I said, over 2 years, a guaranteed can't miss Hall of Fame type player wiped away. Terrell Owens, phenomenal talent on the field. The brother didn't even show up to his own NFL or Pro Football Hall of Fame induction. Who else? Beautiful. And Latours, I don't even know what I'm watching because I don't play football. But I know what that dude right there was doing. I know it was special. And I enjoyed that. And I'm saying this because I saw a clip earlier. It's a clip, the upcoming Pivot podcast has Michael Beasley on there. Michael Beasley is phenomenally talented with a basketball. And this man can't even be, my Detroit Pistons can't even go out and get Michael Beasley because, and for him to come in and average 12 or 14 points a game, can't even do it because the brothers, some ain't right upstairs. And the clip that they have on Instagram of him sitting with Fred, Ryan, and Channing, he was talking about all of this outside stuff that, regardless of how hard he tried to do it, he couldn't defeat those things so that he could go out there and be as good as he is on the court because he just didn't have it mentally. So, and that's why to bring this home a little bit more, even for like a LeBron James, who's able at this point to kind of walk away on his own terms. But this is why I don't put a lot of energy into taking shots at LeBron James because he already has enough arrows in his back. He already has enough haters in his back that Reggie Woodson doesn't need, bum ass, trash ass Reggie Woodson doesn't need to sit here on my midday vlogs when I ain't got nothing better to do. So let me go over here and trash LeBron. I don't get anything out of that. I could state specifically according to the game where I differ with LeBron James. But, you know, here's a dude who's called La China James because Nikes and Nike apparel is sourced from China. And some people out here want to take their anger towards geopolitics and industrialization and business, commerce. They're mad about that. So they go out here and attack LeBron James over where his apparel might be made, like he made that decision. So I don't need to take shots at LeBron James when you got people that are targeting you and getting other people to causing people to come for you in a way that might be outside of talking about a man playing sports. We just saw Russell Westbrook is another. This man is up here broken, defeated, complaining and crying and talking about he can't even bring his family to the court no more, to his games anymore because of what's being said about him. So that's what I'm saying. Tom Brady has kept it so football and has always done his job at an exemplary level that you may be able to hate on a few things about Tom Brady, but you really can't attack Tom Brady. He don't live his life on social media. You know, we got a lot of these boxers, a lot of these athletes, a lot of these boxers, they live their whole life on social media. Kevin Durant. And then Kevin Durant wants to come out and say, well, MJ is good because he wasn't on social media for people to attack him. Well, what do you need to be on social media for? Like, damn, brother, you can make commercials if you want to be in front of a camera. You can make movies if you want to be in front of a camera. Yeah, Brady is old school. But again, like I said, a lot of these brothers just like kind of analogous to the dope game. You know, brothers want to go out here and be on social media and show you what they're doing, let you into their lives and everything. And then people gradually start using all of that stuff against them. And in a perfect world, if you're an athlete and, you know, if you're a regular person, you should be able to be on there. But in the world that we live in, it's not such a good idea. It's not such a good idea. So that's just my hope, man. I hope that as we have shows like the Pivot Podcast, as we have shows like I Am Athlete, as we have shows like the Bar or the Shop with LeBron and them, and the Boardroom from KD, my hope is that in some of these former athletes who come through and share their struggles, their pain, their failures, their disappointments, their regrets, that this shit ain't just entertainment. But the up-and-coming athletes sit here and say, you know what, I'm going to skip all that negative shit, and I'm going to win. I'm going to win on and off the field. And when I hang them up, I'm going to walk off on my own terms. And I ain't going to be, I'm not going to be on the Pivot Podcast talking about what they did to me, how they got me, where they took me down, how they beat me. No, you just come on there and say, yeah, 2016, I was in their ass. 2017, I was in their ass. 2018, I was in their ass. Every year I was in their ass until I retired and I didn't want to do it no more. And I go somewhere. Lastly, what time is it? And you know, even somebody like an Emmitt Smith. Emmitt Smith may have been the first person that I was aware of. He might have been the first athlete that I was aware of that he had to do what he had to do to get his money. That contract a long time ago when he missed the first 2 or 3 games of the season because they didn't want to pay him what he thought he should be paid. And he said, well, cool, I just want to play. And the Dallas Cowboys went out. Yo Cowboys, Latoris, if you're still on there. The Dallas Cowboys went out in a year where they were primed to win the Super Bowl. They had all the pieces. But that shit wasn't looking good without Emmitt Smith. They were 0-2 or whatever, or 0-3. Jerry Jones got right to the, after that last loss, Jerry Jones got right to the bargaining table and gave that brother whatever he wanted. He came back the next week. They won the whole thing. And so that's another reason why I don't get to when it comes to these guys, even for the fighters, when they sit there and try to negotiate their what they want, when they try to get their compensation, I gotta shut the hell up and let them do what they gotta do. Cause for a football player, you only got like 2 negotiations. After your rookie deal, and then your next deal. That's all you got. So if you don't hit them when you can hit them, you'll be sitting there talking about how I got done wrong. The basketball, the NBA dudes, you got a larger window. You might can get 4 contracts. Hell, if you LeBron, you got like 5 or 6 contracts. You got to know your worth. You got to know and then you can't have a bunch of baggage and a bunch of, you can't give them the quiver full of arrows to use against you. You didn't want to call Uber, or you don't have a weed carrier in your crew. You didn't have him drive that night. However it went down with you and the young lady, you left some little gray area in there so she could say it wasn't consensual. You went and got sloppy on that training camp, didn't win a fight you were supposed to win. You got an L on your record. Just avoid the hurdles and the setbacks. So in looking at Brady come back and make his announcement, like I said, it has been people throughout the years who deflate gate, which really wasn't solely him. Last thing. Aaron Rodgers just took this $50 million a season in Green Bay. They can't get nobody to come to Green Bay. No free agent goes to Green Bay. Now they got to go through it to try to retain Devontae Adams. And I'm imagining that they'll get that worked out. But for Aaron Rodgers to sit here and selfishly eat up that much of the cap, Brady never did that. He never did that in New England. Now you could say, well, his wife, she get $80 million a year or whatever. I don't know, but I'm just saying Brady has always been about his business, and that's why he gonna come back and do what he got to do. And all people can really do is hate on the man, but you don't really have much that really means anything because he hasn't given you anything. So that's the whole thing. Don't allow these people. He know his worth. He show up to work though, Very rarely did Tom Brady beat himself. Very rarely. Now, he did throw a couple of picks that ended 1 or 2 games, but it was in a situation where he was forced to try to do too much and to take a risk. But Brady has always shown up ready to play. Ready to play. Now, maybe his left tackle wasn't around, or maybe the right guard was out that day. He never had the right wide receivers, whatever. But Brady was always ready to play his role, unless the other team was just a better team. Hey, that's the end of my lunch break. Check out that Pivot podcast with Michael Beasley. It's kind of disheartening because we got to hear another brother talking about how he just couldn't figure it out to make it work for him. And Ryan Clark, if you just see the clip on Instagram, Ryan Clark is sitting there like, I'm really not prepared or equipped to handle this type of interview. Like, my man is over here, he over here pouring his heart out. Let me just shut up and let him talk. So Beasley is, I hated that it's gone like that for Beasley. But, a lot of these brothers get to the professional ranks and the upbringing that they came from, and then you mix in pressure to win, adversity, injury, pain management, just trying to be on schedule every day, to make it to the walk-arounds, to make it to practice, to have to follow somebody else's rules. these dudes don't come from a background that really allows some of them to be successful and to juggle all of that. And I thought Beasley had a nice all around game, but just up here, it was just different. My name is Wood. Let me get on off here. Thanks for everybody that rock with me. Hey, remember, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Peace.